Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 4 of the Turbo IS300 build. If you're new to the channel, we're turboing an IS300. We're getting close. I'm gonna rebuild this turbo right here. It's the CT20 turbo. I've got the kit. I just ordered something off eBay. And these are fairly simple to rebuild. We'll go ahead and jump into it. Matt's working on a flange for this thing. Since we do have that T4 manifold, we're gonna need a flange that goes from here to the manifold. So he's working on that. So I guess we'll get started on rebuilding this. There we go. Wow, that thing was welded together. This one's gonna be just as tight because it's got a seal all the way around it. There we go. So it's got this O-ring right here. And then these are reverse threads, so I learned that the hard way on a turbo. For the backside, you can just use a crescent, and as long as you got 2 of those on the flat spot, these are supposed to be torqued down to like 15 foot-pounds, I believe. So you're not gonna need a lot of holding power here. Then for the other side, I just use these. So it was leaking oil, obviously. These have about 90,000 miles on them. So these have a ring right here. It's like a piston ring almost. You just need a pick to remove it and then replace it. I'll show you the rebuild kit we got for it. All right guys, so here's the kit we got. It's got new bearings, these 2. There's a collar here. And then these are the outside ring. Although, what's weird is this technically is supposed to go out here, which is supposed to be around here. So, and that was the same with the last rebuild. So I don't know if it's slightly off or something, but we're gonna use just the seals inside the turbo that way, because those do fit. So I don't know if maybe these are the kits for a CT26, and the CT20s are slightly different. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. There's a slit right there. Right there. And you just put this in and you're gonna walk it out basically. So you're gonna walk it up to that second ring and then out to here and then obviously pull it off. Here's what Matt's been working on.
Got this, got the flange made there. I didn't put that little kick out there, but shouldn't need it. And I made it 1.75 inches. So if we wanted to, we could port this thing out a little bit. The gap is bigger than that hole, obviously. Do something like that. You can still make one for here. Do that soon enough.
So you can use a flathead. Try not to damage anything obviously on the way up. You're going to replace it on the rebuild, but you basically just put it on here from the bottom. You just start tapping away. Normally this one's pretty dry just because it's been sitting for a long time, but normally they're caked in oil, so it's easier to do a lot of this stuff. Alright, so here's the stock oil deflector. It had this little thing here, and it's got like a not a diaphragm, it's just got like a spring. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to work. And the idea of an oil deflector is that when all the oil gets slung, it catches here and then falls back into the bearing, where the shaft and all that stuff is. Oh shoot. So here's the aftermarket one that comes with it. Now we gotta make sure it works. So it goes like that. This sits in there. So that little seal goes here. Then this gets pressed into here. So it goes in there. You got the oil deflector there. And you just put a little bit of grease or something in there. And let this thing slide in there. So yeah, what we were able to use from the new kit, and I think it's just because I got the wrong one unfortunately, but we can use new bearings, so that's good. The thrust collar we can't. This one's too long. So my guess is this is a CT26 rebuild kit. So we'll just use the old collar, that's fine. We're using a new ring back here, but that's gonna go back there, so that's fine. We're replacing this over here. Better oil drain back for the bearings. So it will be pretty much a new turbo. The only other thing we're gonna have to reuse is this O-ring here, but that's not what keeps the oil inside, so that's not gonna matter. This is just for the air. Make sure the air doesn't bleed off from the center of the turbo. That's pretty much it. This thing's rebuilt. We're gonna clean up the rest of this stuff here. We'll do that off camera, and then we'll just throw it all back together and get it ready. We did also get our new T4 flange there for the new idea for the turbo.
Yeah, I just drilled out the threads because it was all threaded. So now this will slip over the studs onto the manifold's T4 flange, and then we'll build it off from there.
Matt's been working on the flange and the exhaust.
Yeah, I made this little adapter thing to that necks down from that to 2.5. So I just got to weld up the seam and kind of clean it up a little bit, then weld up this wastegate butterfly, and then that should be ready. I guess one thing, we still need to make this flange, but I'll do that later.
All right, so we'll check back once we're done with that. All right, guys, I think we're getting pretty close. So these come with a pin here. We're about to put the whole turbo together and try to figure out clocking on the car. So we cleaned up this end. Looks a lot nicer. That's rebuilt as well. Then we also painted the exhaust side, that cast iron paint that we've used before, and it came out really nice. So I think we're ready to assemble, but yeah, look at that. Got rid of all that rust. So let me throw this together. We'll push the car in here and we'll start working on figuring out how to clock this thing. All right, guys, I think we got something figured out for the turbo here.
Yeah, so this thing kind of fits crappy. So I think what we got planned right now is kind of have it like this, and then from here, you know, into the manifold, and then down there to the charge pipe, and then from right here, hood exit. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it fits up and how much room we actually have, but it's looking that way.
Yeah. And obviously we're just still trying to keep this here. I think if we removed this, we'd have more clearance, but we're trying to make it easy. Sure. Just leave this here and then figure out, you know, where to put this over here. So I think that's going to wrap it up for us. I guess we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you.